Hello everybody, so as you can tell behind us we have something very big, very shiny and very new. So we have been lucky enough to have been loaned this tractor by Chandler's. Andy and George have sorted this out for us. So what we have got here is I need to check the number. It is a 5M.125 tractor with a loader on. The loader is a FL3823. So regular viewers will remember, probably getting on for 2 years ago now, not quite 2 years ago, again on demo from Chandler's, we had the 5711M tractor. This 5M range replaces the 5700M range, if you're keeping up with all that. Basically this is a lower spec tractor that is sold alongside the 5S range. Okay, so this is a bit more mechanical in the cab, a bit more basic, lower spec, lower price, which is the important bit. Yes, so we have been off, so this tractor is here because they've not been out all that long. I think early part of this year, the 5M range got launched to replace the 5700M range, because we're getting the hang of it now. Yes, so Chandler's just said, do you want to try this tractor? It is, you know, it's in the local depot. Do you want to try it? See how you get on with it? Just because it, you know, it is a new thing. You know, the old one's not available anymore. So what we'll do, we'll have a look around it, see what it is, see what it can do, and then we will get to doing a little bit of work with it. I have to say, there is not a great deal. I have to say, as far as I know, which isn't a lot, there isn't a great deal of difference between this and the 5711M. Yeah, so you know, any detail changes I'm not going to be able to pick up on, but you know, this is the new range. So we'll have a quick look round before we do some work with it. So we will start at the front. Obviously, loader with a Euro bracket, Euro fitting on. So like we said, the number is 3823, which will lift 2.3 tons to 3.8 meters height, which is probably 3.8 meters at this pin here. And then obviously when you dump your bucket, you're going to lose some height, but I suspect they measure it to that pivot pin. Parallel linkage, like you know, like a lot of loaders have nowadays. Nice big door into the cab, 3 steps to get up. I don't know what spec level this is, but obviously, as with all things nowadays, lots of different spec levels available. This is 3 mechanical spools. 3 mechanical spools here, push out pickup hitch. One of those is permanently plumbed to your push out pickup hitch, but is easily isolated on the tap here, like is kind of standard these days. Suspension on this one, whether that's an option or standard, I'm not sure. Yeah, but it's fairly standard back end for what you would find on a tractor nowadays. The one thing I have noticed that is changed, which I personally think is a step backwards, although I haven't used it, is the adjustment mechanism on the top link. Does look quite a poor do, I reckon. There used to be like a big locking catch, spring catch thing that you would close it down to lock it, and then you open it up, and that gives you your handle to turn the center tube. All you get now is this thing here and this tiny little bit to catch hold of, which, yeah, like I said, I've not used it, but I'm not sure that I particularly like the look of that. But everything else seems to be kind of there. That's a quick look around the outside. I'll better just go back. We've just noticed, so there is the 5M.125 model number, and so the 5M is the range, 125 is the horsepower. I think these go between 95 and 145 horsepower, so I think it's a 6 model range. The 57M range prior to this only went to, I think, 130. Okay, so they've gone a little bit bigger on these newer ones. Let's get up into the cab. we go. Visibility seems to be pretty good. Let's heave the door shut. There is a window up in the roof up there for your viewing your loader. Another change on these against the 5700M range, dyno shift is now standard. It was always an option, but there was also a mechanical lever gearbox option which is gone. You know, this is Dyno 4 is the only gearbox you can have now. There's your 3 mechanical spools, oil linkage control. Like again, brake to neutral, that's a very handy feature for a loader tractor. This being a loader tractor does have an extra pump, extra hydraulic pump, so that engage the switch gives you 100 litres a minute, which is what you need for a loader. And then up here on the pillar you've got all your light switches, linkage controls and the like. 3-position PTO on this one, 540, 540E and 1000. Over this side, nothing much really happening on this side of the cab, but there is a nice storage box there. All your radio controls are up there. Visibility does seem to be good. I haven't done anything with it yet, but you know, we'll find out properly when we get going. But what I do like, we do have nice big wide opening doors that I fancy they pivot farther back than what they do on the bigger ranges of tractors, but you still get your little opening back window. Okay, so a lot of tractors nowadays, they make a big thing of the 4-post cab, so the door pivots right on the back corner of the cab, and then you lose some ventilation. So it's always nice to have that little bit of fresh air in, which a lot of big modern stuff you can't do, but you can on these. And coming back round to the right hand side, we have our loader control lever. This is a mechanical control lever down to the spool block. It is an option to have the electro-hydraulic joystick mounted to the seat armrest, and that then gives you buttons for your up and down through the gears. I think it takes away this little gear stick, the roll on the loader joystick, which is nice to have. And then once you've got the electric joystick, you've got your gears on there, you've got your backwards and forwards, and obviously all your loader functions. So I think the next thing we need to do, go and have a little play. As many viewers will know, Dad is the loader tractor driver around here, and he will be doing the vast majority of the driving of this while it's here. But I do hope to push him off and have a little go myself, but we'll see how that goes. Right, so here we go, let's have a little play. One thing I have noticed, unlike the bigger tractors, when you put the handbrake on, it doesn't knock the revs down to low tick over. That just kind of stays the same level. Anyway, right, let's have a little play on the muck heap. We've got our bucket on the front. We are just in two-wheel drive at the moment. Let's see how we get on. friendly, pushes and lifts, not much overtick over. Let's try and find the four-wheel drive button. There he is. Right, we're now into four-wheel drive. Oh, that made a difference. Power on the loader, the speed is pretty impressive. Tell you what we'll do. Right, that is we'll do a scoop with the two pumps engaged, and then we will do a scoop on single pump and see what the difference is. Okay, so this is two pumps, 100 litres a minute. Drop down to single pump. I'm not sure what the output on one pump is, but it will be less, obviously. Totally different. It still lifts well, but obviously a lot slower, painfully slow almost. Right, let's go back to twin pumps. Oh, nearly beat it there. What I am surprised at, we have no weight on the back. Normally we've got a big concrete weight on the loader. Nothing at all on the back of this one. I'm surprised how stable the back end is. Probably be even better if we had the weight on. We beat it there. No, he's going again. But even though the loader won't lift when it's really rammed in, when we have exceeded the capacity, the back don't lift. The back end doesn't feel light. Which does surprise me. I did expect it to be. Right, I think that's enough playing for now. Let's get on and do something actually productive. so before we know it, our time with the 5M is over. So we have given it a wash off. Time for it to go back. All that remains to do is a little overview. What do we think of it? So probably one of the best things on this tractor is the hydraulic output. The loader is very powerful, very fast. That's got to be the selling point. 100 litres a minute hydraulic output on a loader tractor is what you need nowadays. That far outweighs what our current Kubota will do. I think that's something like 64 litres a minute on there. You know, so this is a substantial jump up from that. I got to say the best bit of this, or one of the good bits, one of the best bits of this is visibility. You can see right down to the bucket. You know, there's plenty of room between the bonnet and the loader boom. It's good visibility down there. Windows are a bit wet at the minute just because I've washed it, but if it was dry, you know, visibility is good down to the attachment, and plenty of glass. And then we do get the glass roof. Okay, that's a bit grubby. Didn't wash that off. Yeah, so visibility is excellent. So loader, it's badged Massey Ferguson, but I'm not giving away any company secrets. It's a Quickie loader. Quickie have been building Massey Ferguson loaders probably 30 years now. Very nice loader, very well designed. Yeah, I like these loaders. Suits it well. It is quite a bit, whether it's a big loader for the tractor, I'm not sure, but it does sit, the pivot points do sit quite high. But then that's going to give you an advantage of extra lift height. Without, as we've just seen from in the cab, it doesn't restrict your forward vision. The only thing that would improve forward vision is a sloping bonnet. The sloping bonnet not available on the 5M. That is a 5S thing. Okay, so you can have a sloping bonnet, but you need a different range to get that. But I was quite surprised. The bonnet, you know, you can tell the bonnet, it does drop away at the front. Nothing like a 5S, but it does help. You can still see. You can still see quite nicely to the front. So if we just jump back in again, one of the biggest surprises to me is the loader control lever hiding away behind the steering wheel. Now, I did say in the start of the video, an option is having the loader control as an electronic joystick mounted to the right hand armrest. I've always kind of been of the opinion that would be worth having, worth spending the money on. Now I'm not so sure. I do actually quite like this mechanical one. It's comfortable, it's not too far away. It is a little bit stiff. Whether that's just a new thing, whether it would kind of slacken off a little bit with age. I don't think now, having tried this, I would be rushing to add the electro-hydraulic joystick. I think I would be quite happy with this mechanical one. And we didn't really get to use anything else. Didn't even hitch anything on the linkage. Didn't use any spool valves, but you know, it's all there. It's all handy. It is all nice and easily reachable. So there we go. That will hopefully bring us a little roundup. We haven't used the tractor as much as we would like. I was hoping to get some muck spreading done, loading the spreader with this. We're busy calving. Things didn't work in our favour with the muck spreading thing. But got to look after the cows first. So there we go. So first thing we need to do, we need to say thank you to Chandler's for sending us. Let's shut the door. So keep the cow noise outside. First thing we need to do, we need to say thank you for Chandler's for sending us in this tractor. Everybody is now in the comments going to say when you're going to buy it, or have you bought it? Is it staying? No, it is not staying. It is only a demo. It is going away tomorrow. I think we just need to have a quick whiz around the outside, just have another look at it, because it is a nice looking vehicle. So here we are, a quick look around the outside, just before we wave it off. Goodbye. I think it's only polite, before the 5M leaves, we need to introduce the latest loader tractor to wear the Massey Ferguson badge. So the very first loader that wore a Massey Ferguson badge, and that is the 735. So yes, So the very first Massey Ferguson designed loader was one of these in the 1950s, and there we are. The youngster meets his granddad. As you can tell, things have changed a little bit in the intervening years. So 65 years between these two machines. What is going to happen over the next 65 years in loader tractor development? Leave us a comment down below. Put your ideas in. What will the loader tractor of 65 years time look like? Because they're not, you know, there's a fair difference, but the basics are the same, aren't they? Obviously we've got power loader, got power crowd nowadays. This one does have power push off. Yes, greater lift capacity, greater lift height. So there we go. With the two tractors side by side, we will finally say thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.